Good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We've got a big stream on for tonight. We're going to be diving into all the usual stuff that we go through. I don't have too much to go through from the last game week, so once we kind of get that little part of the stream out the way, we'll then be diving into some of the stuff that's kind of been coming out over the last couple of days. Kind of have a brief kind of touch on the under 23 changes that we're going to be having coming out basically from the next game week. And also we've had Gold Cup squads delivered today from Canada, Mexico and the United States, so there's some big implications for the gallery. I was kind of aware of most of them, I kind of forgot about one or two. What moves have I made ahead of time to prepare for this? I'm really excited, and the entries I've got going into this game week are tasty. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it. Oh, before we get really stuck into it, if you're watching this live, please drop a wee like for me. If you found me on any social media, wherever you found me, drop a wee like or a share or a comment or something on the post. It means a lot to me personally, so thank you very much. And if you're watching this after we've been live, same goes for you. Feel free to get involved in the comment section down below. And equally, if you find me anywhere, like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Hoodwink is in the house. Good to see you, my man. Boom, fist bump, and Hudson Sin. I recognise the Hudson Sin, are you new to the channel? I think you might have been here for a little while. Mikey Baston, how are we doing? So, let's dive in. So, the last game week that we're leaving behind, I actually, yep, sorry, I've got my mobile still on, so I could see Paul Moorcroft's comment on my phone before it came on my screen. I wanted to see what the big delay was in that. Paul, thanks for joining us, thanks for the comment. Just going to the gym, so we'll catch up later. No problem, have a good one, enjoy the gym. So we only had one entry going out into game week 179. We knew it was going to be a real long shot going into it. Takao didn't even get into the matchday squad. Usami, it would appear, didn't make it from the bench. He was on the bench. Germany and England, you know how that went. And then tonight we've got Portland against Austin. Berhalter was questionable to be even making an appearance anyway. Sorry, I'm just realised, I don't think my mouse is... I don't think my mouse is getting caught there. So Berhalter probably isn't going to start tonight or in the morning, depending on where you are. Hopefully he comes off the bench, but even with him coming off the bench and Clark probably starting, I'm nowhere near thresholds with this team, unfortunately. So bit of a nothing week, which is why I was saying there's not much really to go through. Well, we are on SoRare data, but I'm going to just check SoRare data, the actual league ranking, see if I've got I've got a lineup to build, so I guess I'll build this to now. And like I've said before in the last couple of big Thursday streams, Moldy, good to see you, my man. Is I think this is a great way to prepare yourself for the game week, is doing the SD11 tournament first, because then what you're kind of doing, if you do it seriously, is you're picking the best 11 cards you have. And the formation that I always run with, and this is just kind of self-fulfilling, is I run a 3-4-3. So then by the time I finish this lineup out, what I should have is a list of my 3 best defenders this game week, my 4 best midfielders and my 3 best strikers, and I'll then let that guide me in my actual SO5 entries. So with goalkeeper, I know I've got a bit of a conundrum, because I know in my big lineups I've went with Slovic because he's a super rare starting goalkeeper, and compared to who else I've got for my D2, he is the best candidate. But outside of that, I've got Gillespie, who will be playing Paraguay, who I think he can actually score really well in a match like that. And same with Matt Turner away to Columbus Crew. That could be a very good game also. Average goalkeeper score against Columbus is 54, and Gillespie is shown as playing New York, so it's not a really accurate little indicator on that. I don't believe it might be correct, but I doubt it. And Tanny's away to the Olympics, so I'm not going to pay attention to that. Paul Obi is nowhere to be seen as per, and Cisniega looks all but dropped at this point. And Thomas Hassel, we'll talk about him later, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get him out this game week. And Kim Sung-gyu, again, has been missing in action for longer than I would like, so I'm not going to be gambling on somebody like him. So it does come down to the Slovic and the Turner. Now, I think Turner is more likely to even lose a clean sheet but keep a good score, because I think he'll make good saves and all the rest of it. So I'm going to go with Turner as my starting goalkeeper. My back 3. Who will we pick for the back 3? So who have I got available? I've got Miles Robinson. I'm not sure if he's away to Gold Cup yet. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure everyone except for the Costa Ricans. So Costa Rica have got a new manager. So all the Costa Rican internationals are away now. You know, so if you have Matarita, if you have Alan Cruz, Randall Leal, any of these guys from the Costa Rican national team, then check the Costa Rica Gold Squad roster, and those guys are away as of now. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure everyone's still in camp with their club. So Miles Robinson, I think, has to be one of my best defenders for this game week. Trippier, I'm not sure he'll play against Ukraine, so I'm not going to pick him because he's not going to be definitely my strongest free defenders. Denier, I think, will play against Italy. I don't know if he'll be one of my best defenders for this game week. Sam Vines, I think, will play. Findlay, I would like to think plays, but he's only made one start since he's been there, and I'm not going to put him into my SD11. Segura away to Salt Lake, I think is a good game for a defender to be picking up. Minami got a goal. Now I'm going to probably go with the Denier because I expect him to play against Italy, and it'll be a good little debut for him. So I'm not able to get him into SO5, but if I can get him into SO11, I think I'm quite confident with that. Kessler, I'd be quite happy to play, but he's not a definite to start. And Vines at home to Seattle, like that could be a really. I might actually pick Vines because I think Colorado are good. They're at home also, and even if Seattle do give them a game, they'll give my boy Sam something to do and score some points with. You know, triples, doubles, all that fun stuff. Paolo will be going on loan to J2 for the rest of the season. Yeah, I kind of heard a kind of sniff of a rumour about that. I didn't want to comment on it because I wasn't entirely sure, Mikey. But thanks for clearing that up. Same thing happened last year and they went out of circulation. So, again, what we'll now have 2 seasons in a row is Paolo Lobby not getting a full allotment of cards, because when these guys, even though they've got the license for Yokohama F Marinos, I don't know if it's a company policy thing where if they are loaned out they don't issue them anymore, or if there is actual image rights laws or something in the licensing agreement that prohibits them from releasing cards for players not active at the club that are on contract somewhere else, whether it be a loan contract or whatever. But that's something that if Paolo Lobby does eventually come good, he will have an even shorter supply despite being on the platform for 2 seasons potentially. So that's something to keep your eye out on if you are one of the collectors in the crowd. I think Barco is going to be one of our best midfielders this game week away to Chicago. I'm really hoping for a big Atlanta result. I think Wanyama could be one of my best midfielders because I think he'll be a solid 50-ish score. And nobody else, as I'm glancing through. Arturo Isaka has moved to Urawa Red Diamonds. Sorry, that's my dog deciding he wants to participate in the stream tonight. But I'm waiting to see Arturo actually make the matchday squad before deploying him. Morgan is away with Miami to Montreal. It could be okay for him, but Montreal have been impressive this year. No idea what the situation on Pozuelo is, so I'm not going to be gambling on him. I think Zelarayan is in good form. It's a big match at home against a rival, so that's the kind of matches you expect players like to turn up on. Same with Ferran Torres, he's in good fettle and good form, and if Spain are going to overturn Switzerland, I would expect him to be involved. And then my 4th midfielder, I think I will just go with Wanyama. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drop Torres from that position, put Wanyama there, and then go Torres there. That's nice. And then up front, our best free strikers. Who do we think could be the best free strikers? I think Chicharito is definitely in there, but I'm going to pick him second so he gets the middle slot. So Chicharito is definitely my number 1 striker, even though they're playing Kansas, which will be a tough team. I think Vela away to RSL is a plum fixture. And then who could my 3rd forward be? Joseph, I am probably going to back him SO5 on the gamble that he plays. I could play Cabral, but again, Kansas aren't pushover, so I don't know if I want to go heavy on LA in this situation. I could go Higuain. Quite easily. I know he'll play, and he should score against Montreal, you would think, especially with him being on penalties and whatever. Any chances they do get, he's most likely to score. But I think, yeah, I'll go Higuain, and then we'll go to captain Vela, because that fixture against RSL is just too appealing. The backup goalkeeper will be Slowick, because he's my 2nd favourite for this game week. My 1st backup defender, let's make it Mensah. No, maybe not Mensah. Let's make it Valenzuela, because it is a gamble, I suppose. And I don't think I'll get a DNP out of those first 3. I think the only risk, I think actually I might have 2 potential risks, because if the American Gold Cup squad is assembling, then both these guys are in it. So I might actually drop Vines. And yeah, I think I'm going to cover that. So I think I'll start, I'll maybe start Wilson. No, I think I'm going to go back to no, Denier's not definite starting either. Oh, Farfan, yes, Marco Farfan. So, well, this is a funny one actually. I was quite excited about Marco Farfan for this game week because Tristan Blackman gets sent off in the last match, and for me, he's the second choice right back. But I'm pretty sure the Korean guy that they signed is also playing right back. He featured on the end product stream that I did for the members last night, and I think he would actually be preferred to Marco Farfan at right back. So I'm actually going to eat my words up and take that back as soon as I said it. So it makes this third defender slot actually quite difficult to pick. I don't have too many more definites. I think Mensa is the most definite that's there, and then on the bench I'm going to have to pick somebody that covers against Miles Robinson being away. So I'll go with Danny Wilson because I know he'll play and he could still score well. My backup midfielder, I would probably normally go Eli Sanchez, but with the games we've got this week, I'm probably going to go Morgan. He's got a higher ceiling potentially. I think I'm going to make the bench quite Scottish because of where I've went up. So I'll make Russell my next bench fodder, and there we go. Captain Vela 3-4-3. If you're up against me this game week, good luck. But I think that's a pretty solid team. Just need to save it, and that is us. We are in for SD11 this game week. Now, guys, the live stream is filling up, so thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to just make sure I'm on top of all the comments and such. Hoodwink, Mikey Basson bought Paul Obi, I'm guessing. I lost a tiny wee crumb, a bit of Hoodwink, unlucky. I would have, for the price you picked him up at, I'd have just probably sat on him, but it's easy for me to say. It depends on how much of your liquid funds that kind of, you know, your 0.88, your 0.85, whatever you've ended up with in the end. Players expected to be okay for this weekend, joining up with Gold Cup squad next week. Okay, good to know. I'm going to just hedge that, but with what I've done here, I'm happy to start Mensa. I don't think I'll be losing much on the vines. If anything, I'll probably be gaining. And yeah, good for the extra little bit of reassurance, I suppose. But yeah, imagine guys in the comment section with this game week in particular, what division, or if you're always a D4 candidate, what region are you attacking? I know a lot of people at the moment, a lot of people are really excited about the global nations with France and Germany being eliminated. It does kind of thin the field a little bit for, you know, the competition you're going to be facing in SO5 for these cards. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm even able to actually go out and get a full lineup out in the special weekly. I've got Galese. I think oh, do you know what? No, it's the striker that's letting me down. I think let me check it. I'm pretty sure it was still glitched in a tiny way that I could still have Joseph Martinez get into here, even though Venezuela have been eliminated. With one of the posts they put in Discord yesterday, I'm going to be of the assumption that yeah, he has been. Oh no, he is still here along with some of these other guys, so I'm not going to risk getting an avoided squad in case they do retrospectively like cull that in some way. I'm not going to take the gamble, to be honest with you, but I don't have a striker available for it, so I'd rather take those cards that I've got there in good nick and put them in the appropriate places. So as you can see, I've got so I'll show you my regions, right? So the regions are the most punty, right? So both the goalkeepers that are going into the regions are potential DNP candidates. Sorry, someone paid 0.076 for Mensa. Yeah, I've seen that. Fat finger syndrome. So if somebody paid 3/4 of an ether for Jonathan Mensa yesterday, which is about £1,000, £1,200. This is a card that regularly sells for under 200. So unfortunate to see. Hoodwink. No, I've got about 14 or 15 players. So picked up a Diego Oliveira, much more useful. Before Powell is back, fair enough. Opportunity cost with things like that are a very important metric to consider, Hoodwink, and it sounds like you've made a sensible decision, so well done to you. Chrissy, no need to apologise, mate. The stream is here when you are ready. You can go back and start watching this from the beginning, or you can just join in where we are now and keep going. XMK, sup, boom, good to see you. Who disliked this video? There's two prime candidates. I don't get videos that ever really have more than one dislike, or maybe two, and I've got a fair idea of who both of them would be. If it triggers you, XMK, that warms my heart. I really don't care, because, you know, why let it? Got a Michael Deleu going. If anyone is interested, we'll do a nice deal. I'm guessing he's a bummer of a card. Sorry, Chrissy. Oh, right. I'll show you this punty Asia lineup. Now, what's punty about it? is Kim Sung-gyu is still. Normally Misaki will tune in to the live chat at this point and say he should be out of quarantine by now, but the last 2 games it's not quite hit for him. He's still not made it back into the team. Yokohama is a big match, so I don't know if they'll do that. But he's the only Asian goalkeeper I've got feasibly that could play. Tani is away on the Olympics, so ignore him at the side of your screen there. And if I hit on the little use button, you'll see Paolo Lobby's in training, and he's not going to be playing this match, of course, as Mikey is just educated us with. Ominami got a goal in the last game, and as you can see, his last 3 games, he's got a goal in one of them, of course, but the other 2 before that, he's starting to get into decent form again, so I'm happy to play him. I don't think I've got many other options. I've got Takao, who is a prick. Used to love Takao last year. I think, honestly, he was one of my favourite rewards. He was one of these guys I won. He was an under-23 defender. I had no idea who he is, and his scores were amazing. He went into some big lineups for me and did incredible, and he's just not really came back from an injury this year. It's been very frustrating for me and disappointing to see the boy's career have the moves it's made this year. Chanatip is flaky, hot and cold. We'll see what we've got with him. Outside of that, Isaka I'm not gambling on, and Joel is coming off the bench again, which is cool, but away to Chanatip's team, I'm not going to be picking Joel over playing Chanatip. And then I'm going with the only 2 strikers I've got playing, which is Usami, who didn't feature at all this match, which is hopefully a good sign for the next one. And Marcus Jr.'s in good form, and we spoke about the guys at Kashiba Racel. So a wee bit punty. If I win something out of Asia, cool. If I don't, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But before I show you the Americas one, we won a treble on the last game week, okay? So we won 3 cards. I think I'd showed you this on the Monday stream, but I'll just throw it up on screen for you. So we had 5 out of 7 entries get over 300, and we finished up with 2 tier 3s. We didn't get a tier 2 unfortunately, but 2 tier 3s and a tier 1 and a bit of ETH. The winning teams were, this team got us a tier 3 and global missed out by 2 points, which is pretty annoying because somebody actually in DMs with me this week was telling me how well Vlasic played against Spain, so that's sore to hear that he played well and how close I was from the next tier up of rewards. This team bagged us a tier 3 reward, nothing special in here at all. Keaton Parks and Lewis Morgan, Eddie Segura are all quite affordable cards. We're joining Russell as well. Steve Clark was going really cheap when he was out the team. And then under 23 D3 we finished 10th. We had some big hitters show up. The super rares didn't show up, and we were very, if the super rare did turn up, we could have very easily got ourselves on the podium. So some 3 very good results. We had 5 good scores the club's happy with, and the rewards we got was a Yannick Van Osh, who's an under 23 now 24-year-old goalkeeper. Kim Min Woo. Now this guy actually, I looked at this guy and I thought, oh, this guy could be tasty. He's got some really good scores, and for a tier 3 he's definitely that, with all my scores here. So let's see, All-Star D4, I was right at the top of the tier 3 pool because I was only 2 points off of a tier 2 reward. And with Champion America, which also isn't where I got the Korean lad, but again only 10 points off of a tier 2, so I'm towards the top of the reward pool. I'm really excited to maybe get a look at this guy in SO5 before I think about selling him, because I think his form is quite attractive. The Yannick Van Osh, I had him listed, I put him up for a quarter of a coin. I got like 3 or 4 offers with like 10 minutes to go, just some kind of trades and whatever I'm not really interested in. And I got a Bedoya. Now, as you guys will know, I'm a Celtic fan, right? Bedoya used to play for Rangers. He's been a Philly for ages. He's a DP, or he was a DP. I don't know if he's still in that big contract. I think he might be. But I just got a Stuart Finlay. So that could be a nice little pair if there's not a lot of games on and there's Stuart Finlay there. And Philly are playing there. I could potentially have a pair going out that could fill a lineup out. And do you know what I actually really like about this dynamic is Finlay is an ex-Celtic player, Bedoya is an ex-Rangers player. So I kind of have, I don't like Rangers in any way, of course, but I kind of like that, He wasn't a great player for Rangers. It's not as if he'd done us or anything, but hey ho. Moldy, I picked up an Alec Can today with Guzan away for the Gold Cup. What would you advise to do with him? To try and flip now? Wait for him to play a couple of games? Now, with Alec Can, you do have a competitor. And his name is Rocco Rios, or Rios Rocco Novo, or something like that. So this kid come on for Brad Guzan after he gets sent off in a Champions League game, and he went viral for how well he done. I would not write off the Gold Cup period. I don't know how many fixtures Atlanta have off the top of my head. Let's say they have 5. I would not be surprised if between Can and Rocco Rios Novo it's split in terms of who plays all these matches. I think they want to give this guy some minutes after his Champions League performance, and also Alec Can does have a bit of seniority, so you'd expect he would come in also. So I don't think there's a definitive answer. If you think what I'm saying, please look into it. But if you think Rocco Rios Novo is potentially going to get some minutes, and you might want to hedge that and take Alec Can at what you would then perceive to be a peak price, it's up to you. Gamba drew today, so should go all out in the next match. Good, XMK, I'm glad to hear that. Obviously, I won't stay in goal, so I need to try and get it right with the sale. Yeah, of course, yeah, because when Brad comes back, he is number one. Kim Min-woo is a fantastic player who I think he did amazing on the live stream last night when we looked into it, and I totally echo your sentiment there completely. So, well, you do have a competitor who could also get minutes, and if I was buying a backup Atlanta goalkeeper, I'd be buying Rocco Rios Novo. I love his name, and he's played Champions League already and made a name for himself within the club to some extent. So where are we? Okay, so what I'll do now is I will let you guys see. So I've got again a bit of a stretch of an America D4 lineup. It's the goalkeeper that's the problem again. Oh, it's D3, I went with it. Okay, so America D3. Cisniega has not played the last two matches, as you can see. I don't know if... It's so hard to say what will happen, to be honest with you. I put him in there. Valenzuela should continue his recovery. I'm expecting him to get around 60 minutes. But with the options I have elsewhere, I don't think I really need to gamble on him. Wanyama, I'm actually really disappointed he's gone into this team. I'd like him to be in a more prominent team. We might jig it up and see what happens. And then the Miami Vice Boys away to Montreal in that. So if it does something cool, if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's fancy training. You're actually Barnesy, you're actually the second person to ask me about Fashion Sakala. Hendo, good to see you. Fist bump, boom. I don't know. I don't actually follow Rangers that intimately. I've barely followed Celtic over the last I was gonna say 12 months, but over the last like 10 months, because it's just been an absolute shit show and it's so hard to watch. But I think Rangers and Celtic, if they spend money on players like this, they kind of have to play, because the finances are so confined. If you're making a significant investment towards acquiring a player like Fashion Sakala or anyone else we might care to talk about, then you would expect they play. They still do have Defoe, they still have Morelos, they still have another guy called Eaton that they like as well, a big Swiss guy, and I think they've been linked to another striker. I can't remember who. Gerard has spoken very highly. Yeah, it was maybe Chris. It was Chris Quirk who was also talking to me about Sakala. Yeah. So I say Rangers and Celtic, but don't buy players to sit them on the bench typically, unless it's a flop, and it will. If that is the case, it will be a hard flop. They won't get any minutes and they'll disappear in January. I brought some cookies with me tonight, guys, which I should have opened before we came on camera, but there you go. So what do you think of my two punty lineups? Do you think they've got a good chance if they get any legs? How far will they go? So let's have a look at the prize pool. In D2 we've got 108 entrants, which is a good number. I'm actually excited by that. D3, let's say it gets to 800. Good amount of stars have gone up to 9th, which I like. Global All-Star D4, 4,500 entrants. Special weekly only 344. I'd really love to win the fucking prizes for that, by the way. And anything else I'd want to look at? Probably not. Under 23s, there's not much going. 44 entries in D2. Can't be many goalkeepers. Who would I have in defence? So I got Kessler. Vines. So it'd probably have to be Vines. Barco. I don't think Medina qualifies anymore. I'm sure he's getting a game this week in fact. But I could go Barco, Efra. And then, yeah, I've got a striker. I could go D2 with a DNP goalkeeper, but the assets I've got, I'm not fucking about with these gambles. When I've got weeks like this where I do feel with the matches that are available that the kind of gallery I've got should be coming to the fore here. So I honestly, what I'm trying to do in my head, which is why I might seem a wee bit kind of scatty, I'm thinking about Gold Cup squads and should I go talk about them first, or if I should take these through my lineups. And what I think I'll do is I'll take you through my lineups. Okay, now I'm going to start at the top, right? D2, I'm going for it. I'm saying Joseph Martinez. He's in Georgia. He's been there since like Monday or Tuesday or something. He's been training, or maybe even last week actually. He's been in Atlanta for a while. He came off the bench against Peru in the last match, I think it was, maybe Ecuador. He's fit. He's COVID free. It's just the only thing I wasn't sure about was like self-isolation, but I've seen a picture on Twitter, like the Atlanta Twitter page, you know, he was at the stadium training with everyone, so if he's not isolating, he's in the squad, and the way Atlanta have been going, they're crying out for him. So if you have a Joseph Martinez, I personally am taking the gamble on it, and what I'm doing is and you guys will know from watching the videos and everything, I'm not a stacker. I'm not a guy that goes out and goes, oh, I'm going to stack Atlanta, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I just pick up the cards I like. In this game week, I've got 3 Atlanta cards. Chicago are the team that you want attacking players to be playing against. Chicago, RSL, Vancouver, they are the clubs you want to be facing at the moment. And I'm just going balls to the wall with the attack. I expect Eric Lopez to play off of Joseph along with Moreno. And then Barco occupies centre mid with Sousa. And I think this should be too much for Chicago. I think there'll be a lot of enthusiasm at Joseph just being back in the building, in air quotes. And between the 3 of these guys, a couple of goals and assists would be lovely. Sam Vines is a steady Eddie. He will play, and as you can see with his scores, he'll get me around the 40 mark. And Slowick, as long as they don't get humped, he'll deliver a score I'll be satisfied with, I'm quite sure of. So I'm actually, with there being about, let's say 110 entrants into D2, I think I've got the firepower there with the Atlanta guys playing Chicago, that they can go and do the damage. In D2, I'm backing again, I'm stacking up, and I'm going with LA. LA are at home at Kansas. LA's form has been incredible. Chicharito is not in the Gold Cup squad. Efra Alvarez is. So this will be the last game week we use him for about a month or so. And then we've just went solid at the back. Best defender available, Miles Robinson. Best goalkeeper available, it's not super rare of course, Matt Turner. And I think again, as long as LA do the win, Chicharito's involved in the goal, and decisive actions come from either Cabral or Efra or both, then this team could be, you know, amazing. I think all my globals have got a great shot this game week. Here's my D4. So I went with Galese and goals with Paraguay. Eddie Segura away at Salt Lake. Zella Ryan at home in New England. Ferran Torres and Carlos Vela. So Vela is sketchy for minutes, but Vela, like, if he got 10 minutes against RSL, I'm confident he'll get a decisive action and at least pull the 60 in. So I'm happy to go with him. Our teams are all quite self-explanatory. They all do quite look after themselves this game week, but they're strong. The only gamble is the Joseph, will he play or will he not? And I say I'm dropping Wanyama's not in the picture there anywhere. As I'm thinking about it now, would I drop Efra for Wanyama? I think I might. What would you guys do? Global All-Star D3, Efra Alvarez in this picture, no one else changes. Efra Alvarez or Wanyama, who would you pick? Yeah, Paul, Hayo Kawabe, former Barcelonan employee, if you like, or whatever, is away to Switzerland, so he's non-SO5. He's joining Eo Tanaka, as Paul is saying there, in a non-SO5 Red X crew. Hendo is telling us Kent's obviously nailed on. Aribo and Haji tend to rotate, and he likes to use Arfield. Yeah, so Hendo knows Scottish football proper. He even knows the real name of the division. So take his word as gospel on that matter, I would say. But guys, help me out with this one. Wanyama at home at Miami or Efra Alvarez at home at Kansas? Who would you pick? Super rare. Who would you pick? Let me know. Well, I'm going to fire up. I'm going to fire up the old Twitter. I'm going to go through the US Gold Cup squad, the Canada and the Mexico. Because there was some interesting, so I'm just going to search USMNT Gold Cup. If you've got the squads already, brilliant. I want to know your thoughts as well. And if you haven't, let's buckle up and have a look at it together. Rosters announced, squad number set. Okay, cool, sorted. So we have Turner, Cannon, Vines, Pines, Zimmerman, Busio, Areola, Giacchini. I think he plays in Switzerland or something like that, or second division Holland. Jassy Zardes, Roldan, DK, Robinson, Hop, or Hoppe, or Hope, or whatever. Jackson Yo. Not too sure who the Lewis kid is. Sands, Leggett, Sean Johnson, Eric Williamson, Moore, I'm not too sure on. Bello, Guzan, and Acosta. It's a very strong 23-man squad. Of the guys, you're likely you'll know the MLS affected ones here. There's a considerable number of them, and some of them are really good performers. So with these guys going out of the picture, again, similar to what I was saying with the U23 guys are aging out. That next wave of U23s that weren't quite the top shelf guys that will now be top shelf. Same with MLS. Guys like Roldan, DK, Leggett, Eric Williamson, Bello, Acosta, Busio, Zimmerman are like division leaders. Turner, of course, Johnson, and Guzan. They're all division leaders SO5 wise for their position, and having them off the table for basically the month of July is going to open up the field a little bit. So if you've been packing some MLS guys that are like maybe like an Eli Sanchez type or something like that, who will score you between 40 and 50 almost every game week, and if they have a good match they might get close to the high 60s. Some of those guys now will be like a bit more instrumental in actual football for their team, because one thing that kind of gets overlooked a little bit is, right, you look at, let's have a look at this again, right, you take Roldan out of Seattle, you take Yule out of the Earthquakes, you take Williamson out of Portland, there's other midfielders, Acosta as well, you take these guys out of their clubs, there's other midfielders that will play in place of them, and there's also existing guys that would have played alongside them that will have to carry a bit of the water for these guys, because you would assume them getting into their national team at club level, they're probably one of the more talented players, and when that talent vacuum happens, everyone needs to muck in, you know, and kind of carry the load. And with guys like I'm really thinking about like the Zardez's, the Roldans, the DKs, the more attacking, Leggett, Williamson, the ball winners, you know, Acosta, these types of guys, you know, and Busio's just gold, he's just stardust, you know. So I think it'll be a good kind of test for Kansas to kind of see what life will be like after Busio. So I'm really looking forward to SO5 competition. It is a bit of a bummer that the Gold Cup isn't covered, because I think it would be a tap-in, an absolute tap-in for SoRare in terms of engagement in that region, because you know, of course, all the fans of the other nations like Canada, Mexico, Panama, Bermuda, this one, that one, all the rest of it, if they had a slice of the action on this, then it's engagement across platforms and across social media and all the rest of it. This is the Canada squad. Now, I was very eager to see this coming out. I was crossing my fingers and toes. Like I was speaking about earlier in the stream, Thomas Hassel. I bought Thomas Hassel for this happening, and I'm so glad it paid off for me. Dane St. Clair, Maxime Krapal, and I'm not even too sure who the other goalkeeper is, but it's somebody in this list here. So Hassel should be the number one for Vancouver. Let me show you this. Excuse me. I don't know if you can hear the kids, sorry, they're up past their bedtimes, but one of those fun. See, when the heat gets mad, the kids' bedtime schedule just goes right out the window. So if you can hear any protesting in the background, I apologise, but hey ho, such is life. Kent for a January move, Hendo reckons. I'd stick with Ephra, says XMK, but I'm not an expert in MLS. Okay, Atlanta United lost half of the defenders. Hopefully they give some young guys a chance, like George Campbell. Great shout, Bob. George Campbell got minutes last year, so I would definitely agree with you there. Brooks Lennon will still be around, so he might slot into left back. He's been playing more advanced kind of recently. Barnsley, don't worry about it. You talk about whatever you want, son. I think Lewis is the defender with Tenerife. Yes, you're right. And Bob Flynn, you think DeJohn might get a game? Going for peanuts. I don't know who DeJohn is. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, we're talking about Atlanta backup defenders. What was I going to show you? Oh yeah, MLS. So now they are like one of my most hated teams. They're not hated, but one of the teams I have the least amount of time for in SoRare is Vancouver. But they're sitting bottom. They're dead in the water. The only way is up, basically. But throughout the month of July, I don't think anyone has more fixtures than Vancouver. There we go, page is loading. So they've got Dallas, is that this week? Yeah, so they've got Dallas. I don't even think it's going to fall into this game week, is it? The 5th? Yes, it will. So it'll fall into the next game week. So after this one, when the Gold Cup squads go away, they've got RSL at home, who are one of the other easier teams in the division. Galaxy at home, which is tough. Dynamo at home, which is a game they will fancy themselves in. LAFC away. Austin FC at home, which is a game they will fancy themselves in. So 5 games I'm hoping to get my hassle on the pitch for. If I get lucky, I'll also get the Minnesota match. And I think that'll just be down to like if Thomas Hassel does good form, and if Krapal maybe picked up, and you know, I'd be hopeful and get 6 matches. But I'm really looking at those 5 games, and I'm thinking 5 games in the month of July. I'm going to get 5 game weeks out of this kid in a high level at U23, so I'm really happy to pick up the Thomas Hassel. Equally, other players in this situation, I hope you've got your own ones. You know, you might have got Hassel also, you might have Kellen Acosta's backup, or you might have got Bucio's backup, or you know, guys are talking about Atlanta's defenders, their backups, you know, because I say it's a great opportunity for some of those cheaper cards to surprise a few guys, get the minutes while the Gold Cup squads are away, and get red X's on them basically. Vancouver don't have the best form. The fixtures are kind enough, you know, they don't need to be super kind, but having RSL, Houston and Austin is 3 teams out of 5 I would happily put into an ideal run for a situation like this, or a play like this that I'm trying to make. Cavallini's away, so again, like, Vancouver are losing their main goal threat potentially. Alphonso Davies, Junior Hoylett, Doniel Henry from the Korean League, Mark Anthony Kay, Richie Larea, Kyle Larin, Jonathan Osorio, and you can't see behind my head here, but it says Samuel Piette. Eo Akinola is declared, Tejan Buchanan is there as well. So they've actually got quite a strong team. No Joe David there, but a strong Canada team. And Canada are now definitely getting into a bit of a stride in terms of their national team, because some of the guys, like, is it Arfield that plays for Canada? He is like Scottish, you know, so they have done a bit of that in the past, similar to what Scotland have done, Ireland, a few other countries as well. And so they're not only just doing that, but they're actually like bringing through their own talent now. And this is the Mexico squad now. I was fucking buzzing when I seen this because there's no Chicharito, which means he's staying in LA, which is fucking brilliant. So Efra Alvarez is in town with the Mexican national team. Salcedo, I'm pretty sure he's an MLS guy. Pulido is away. Irving Lozano is there. Funes Mori, I think he's get an SO5 card. Pineda. Hector Herrera, I don't think so. Jonathan Dos Santos, yes. And Cervantes, yes. So there's a few guys that you might have been expecting to use. Not too many, it must be said, but I think the big news is that Chicharito has not made the squad, or Carlos Vela, which means they'll be staying with their clubs, and they will be great for SO5. Well, you know, this is going on, of course, because they will remain active, whereas counterparts of theirs are away on their merry way to enjoy the Gold Cup. But yeah, I reached out to the Atlanta Best Writer on Twitter, but I haven't heard anything. Cool. Quinny, our bet on Hassel may pay off. I think it will, Bill. I think it will. Had a similar situation with the Asian Champions League. Got quite lucky. John Book, first goalkeeper, was away, so made £150 profit on the second choice. XMK, brilliant. Alex Dobbins, no need to apologise, pal. The stream is here for you whenever you are ready. But guys, I actually think I'm out of a little bit of steam here, because I'm thinking I want to get stuck into this stuff and have a look at the squads, see anything that really stands out. I think really, like, the goalkeepers are the main ones, because the 3 MLS goalkeepers, Turner, Johnson and Guzan all leaving, opens the door for those 3 backups. Krapal going. Dane St. Clair is kind of back up at Minnesota. He has been back up this year, it must be said. So it doesn't really do much for Tyler Miller or that situation. That kind of stays as is. But overall, guys, I'm very excited for the coming game week. I know there's a bunch of you just kind of joining us, so I'll give you a run through of my teams once again in terms of my heavy hitters. So the biggest team, we're back in Atlanta, big time to turn over Chicago. And I've still got a conundrum, guys, that I need your help with. This is my D2 team. I'm not really going to be changing that, to be honest with you. I'm happy with all the Atlanta firepower, backed up by a solid Sam Vines and a Jacob Slovic. But Efra Alvarez, did I drop Efra and bring in Wanyama into this team? Yes, Nick, I have talked about Saka moving. I'm not going to be playing a Saka until I see him in a matchday squad. The last game Uruwa had was against his former team, I'm pretty sure it was. He wasn't even on the bench or anything, so I thought, okay, I need to hang off a bit longer. But I think that Junker, his basic profile looks good, and somebody like Saka, you know, if he can feed a predator, then we've seen it with Alunga last season, he can be a monster. So if you've been picking up cheap Arturo Sakas, I hope it pays off for me and you. Very much so. Blake from Philly will be going to the Gold Cup as well with Jamaica. I didn't check the Jamaica squad, sorry. I'm not even sure if it's out yet. Didn't see anything anywhere. Matthew Freeze will deputise for him, but Philly only have like 3 games while the Gold Cup is on compared to Vancouver, who have potentially 5. I missed out on the Freeze, but so what happened was I went for Freeze with this strategy in mind. I think Freeze at 22 and the kind of hype he got last year when Blake broke his finger, and when he came in and played, helped him through the playoffs and whatnot. I think the way Philly kind of spoke about him on social media, they see him as the next guy to fill Blake's shoes. So I think this will be a repeating occurrence. Every time Jamaica play, Blake goes, Freeze will step in. Those will be intermittent appearances, but I do not think that is up for debate or up for discussion. So Freeze can be quite a safe hold. Hassel, I think, is still a bit of a gamble because there is another goalkeeper in the picture at Vancouver, but he's not even been making the matchday squad, whereas obviously Hassel has, and Hassel has shirt number 1, and he's a young Canadian kid, so I think they're going to want to back their own in that sense. But there is still a little bit of an element of gamble on that it might not come through for Hassel for all 5 games, or all 6 games that I'm hoping for. Matt Turner should do well even against Columbus away, and Miles Robinson away to Chicago again, he should be good. But that team we're mainly backing up the Galaxy lads. And then in Division 4, we've just went with the best guys we've got that haven't featured in a team elsewhere already, really. Christian Paredes injury, I don't know anything about Christian Paredes, I'm really sorry. Got Ignacio Fernandez quite cheap as he was out with COVID and he starts today. Brilliant. Well done, XMK, you're on a roll, man. That's like the second or third little trade you've been chatting about in the live chat. But again, I'm really happy with this. Ferran and Zelarayan been in good form in midfield and expect that to happen again. Vela's got a plum fixture, Segura's in the same fixture also, and Galicia is playing Paraguay. So that's the ones I'm rocking out with for the most. And I say D2, 111 entrants we're up to at the moment, and yeah, still just about better than 10% are getting a card, so I'm right up for it, man. D3, yeah, we'll probably get to the 800 mark, I think, there. But yeah, buzzing, guys. Anything you just want to throw into the live chat? Evan Crichtley, good to see you. Fist bump. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I don't know, guys. And again, friend who's catching us a wee bit later, this is my S11 entrant. I think we will be doing another video coming out the next day or so. Another bunch of videos. But I'm really glad that I didn't miss a game week in this, and I highly recommend, guys. Like I said earlier when I was going through this, before you build your game weeks, do this team first and work out who is. Like, there's one. I think that's kind of decided it for me. Wanyama's there and Efra isn't. Guys, help me out. No, Mikey, I don't have Iron Brew tonight. Do you know what I've got with me? Now, I used to. It's a really long story, right? I'll make it a short story. My oldest son had to get a lot of surgery and stuff when he was born, so anyway, it's a long story. I had to leave my job and whatever. And I got a job as like a manager in Aldi for like 6 months just because it was flexible shifts. And so, if you don't know, Aldi pay really well. And in Aldi, they do this juice called apple and raspberry. And I shit you not, it is like the best juice in the world. It's like 75p for a carton. There's no real fruit in it. It's one of those juices that you taste and you're like, oh, I hope that's like one of my 5 a day or something. Doesn't have any of that shit on the carton. It tastes far too good. So many natural sugars and stuff, I think maybe additives or whatever, but apple and raspberry juice from Aldi, make sure you give it a try. You will not regret it. No one I've ever said that to has regretted it, believe me. We then got 2 punty lineups were thrown out into Asia and America. This might pay off. Kim Sung-yu might be back. Sammy should start the next game, and then the rest of the guys are, you know, they've been here forever, you know who they are. And Champion America, we're gambling on D3, but we're going to change the gamble. We're going to drop Efra Alvarez into here, and I'm going to put Wanyama in there because Efra might not get 90 minutes because that's a big match, and he might not get decisive. Whereas Wanyama missed the last match through suspension. He's been in really good form. Montreal are in really good form. And, you know, all I need Wanyama to do is bring in, like a 40 to 50 score. And if these guys do their thing up front, these guys do their thing at the back, Super Wanyama in the middle should bring it home for us. So, yeah, last minute change to that. We're going Wanyama. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm sure I had in my head, I've got a bunch of stuff to go through. I know I went through a bunch of it quite early. No, I don't have a discount code for the juice, unfortunately. And do you know, see, when you work in Aldi, you don't get a discount card. They say it can't be cheaper. It cannot be any cheaper. But it's so delicious, man. Managed a 24th this week. Hoodwink. Well done to you, man. Boom. In Asia, Game Week 180 is Choi Young Yoon, Hong Jung Un, Shin Jun Ho, and Lim Sing Hyob, and the magical Cecilia. I think I did quite well with most of those names. Dropped a video on Tuesday, episode 4 of How to Build Your Club. I think that season, that series, guys, what I really like about that is I only plan to do it with 5 episodes. 4 of them are out. The last one is to be done. But what I really like about that series is it is like, what I really like about that, and what I really like about the some of the other stuff I've been doing now, because I've been here for a year, is it's really good to retrospectively kind of go back. Like, I'm always trying to have content that's forecasting, we're looking ahead, we're trying to predict stuff and whatever, but I think this exact point in time I'm at is a really good time to take lessons from the past and they make good content for video. But as you guys will know, the regular watchers, this is more kind of a disclaimer, I suppose, for anyone who's new. Like, I don't spend a lot of time on videos looking back at stuff, you know, it's mainly forward planning, forward looking, that kind of thing. But I think being here a year, like, it's a good milestone. There's some good things that have happened, some mistakes have been made and whatever, and I really actually enjoy making that content. But I was just kind of, yeah, I just kind of ran this page and I was thinking, is there anything else I would really want to talk about? It's just a wee kind of a little plug, if you like, on the content. I hope you are enjoying the members section of the channel. If any of you guys are new here and you don't know anything about it, you can find details, it's everywhere to be found, really. But honestly, like, John's podcast is back, the RotoWire guys, Andy, Laird and Black are doing lots of more stuff, and then you've got Hybe and Your Never Alone. I have so much fun consuming SoRare content at the moment that it kind of distracts me from producing SoRare content, because like, I listen to stuff and, you know, because what happens with me with videos is I get a great idea in my head, or I think it's a great idea at least anyway, and I think, right, oh brilliant, I can't wait to go make a video about that, and I'll do all my notes and I'll get ready to go, and then I'll be like, oh, so and so has just dropped a pod or a video, whatever, I'll listen to that, and then I'll do this later, and then I'll listen to it and I'm like, nah, I can't be bothered. Manana, oh, I've got a stream tonight, I'll do it manana, you know, and it never kicks off. So I might need to really knuckle down and bust out a bunch of content. Bust out a bunch of content. You try and say it feels like a tongue twister to me. Bust out a bunch of content, and they might be coming at you quick fire over the next week or two. I really can't stress this enough, guys, and I'm always quite eager to do this when the stream has been going on for a bit longer and we've still got a good view count, because you are the hub of, you know, the subscriber base, the followers, the channel, basically. You know, these are the guys that I want to, you know, these are the guys that really push everything here, you know. But if and when new content does come out, all the interactions I get from you guys, honestly, I can't say enough. I had a message from somebody today I found on Discord and all that. I'm not going to go into details, but they're basically like, you know, watching the channel for a while, blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much, thank you, you know, that kind of stuff. And see, getting messages like that, but I'm cutting about, man. Imagine you kicking about in your normal day right now, just think about what you did today, and then imagine, like, once or twice throughout the day you find like a DM from somebody. Honestly, it's such a great feeling. Like, I had so much fun doing the giveaway, because I was like, I finally set up a nice position where giving back in what I would consider a big way is quite easy fun, and you know, I really enjoyed it. So like I mentioned at the time, the more the channel grows, the more success, you know, the more followers and subscribers and all that kind of stuff that I get, the more giveaways I can do. Like, I watch a guy on YouTube called Everything Always, right? And he does like, he must do like 4 or 5 videos a day, and he's got all the kind of Hollywood gossip of what the new script's going to be for Ant-Man, and you know, all that kind of shit. What producer just been fired off of Matrix, you know, whatever. And he runs competitions constantly. He's got thousands of followers, of course, and I've been watching that guy for ages, and I think to myself, if, when I have the financial ability, I'll do that kind of shit. I'll give stuff away all the time, because without the viewers, it's nothing. You know, it's just me making a video, you know, without you guys watching it. So I'm endlessly thankful for your support, for your views, for your interactions. It means everything. It really does. So thank you very much. And all I'm kind of saying is, it continues and we grow. I can give more back, give more back, give more back, because that's just the way the internet works, and all that kind of content stuff. You know what I'm talking about. To Jush Mush, getting my words. Mikey, you've screwed me up there. Still grateful, mate, after all this time. Cheers, mate. I have to say to anyone who isn't a member, to the member streams are great to be able to see in-depth scouting videos on players that you will not be able to find. Thank you very much, Evan. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now, the one that we did, I actually got a little copyright notification thing from the MLS clip that got out without, you know, there was one that wasn't muted for the first like 5 seconds. But again, it's not strikes or anything. I'm not doing anything bad, so I've paid for the things and whatever. But they just don't want it publicly like tossed out there, which is why it needs to be behind the paywall. Unfortunately, so sorry. But yeah, I had really a lot of fun. I was actually, you'd have probably caught a few yawns off me. I was really tired, but it was one of those ones. I booked it in. You guys pay your subs for it, so we're going to be there and we're going to do it. But the next one we'll have a better run up to it, and hopefully, like, I might even try and do it a bit earlier in the day, and maybe just run for like 3 or 4 hours. That's really, when I started the member section, that's what I really wanted those videos to be, was big, data heavy, good chat, good uncovering stuff together videos. And like I say, my kind of goal is I want to use that software that we're playing about with to find me a diamond in the rough unique that I can get cheap. I might need to sell it for a year or 2, but could hit big eventually. You know, that's what I want to do it for. And if you guys can find justification for that rare you're eyeing up, or confirmation that the super rare you just bought is worth it, or did you sell that, get, you know, all that kind of stuff, then it's great for that as well. You know, so by all means, like Evan's saying, give it a try. All the details are on the channel somewhere. You will find it. It's like 99p if you just want to watch, and if you want to nominate players, it's £1.99 per month. And if you do YouTube, when you subscribe to it through YouTube, it comes through like your phone bill, or just like off your chip and pin cards, depending on what your payment methods are. Honestly, it's nothing, guys. And what that goes towards is the cost of the software. It costs like £600 for the year. So, and once we get past that, again, I can give stuff back, because why not? You make the... Thank you. No, thank you, Bob. I really appreciate that comment. It means a lot. Thank you very much, Malky, also, for seconding that. Yeah, you think a Twitch stream would be... do you know, actually, XMK, I was thinking about Twitch about a month ago and yesterday, and I think with this software I can do simulcast. I can do it on both, and if I can do it on both, then I don't think that's... can't harm me, surely. But it's just something else I need to learn. Like tonight for the stream, I managed to get things out on everything, Instagram, Reddit, whatever. But it's time consuming, which is fine. But there's a process to go through. So now I've got into a nice rhythm. Set up the Instagram post, set up the Reddit post, set this up, set that up. Boom. You know, you don't need to worry about all this stuff. But yeah, I think I will get a Twitch on the go at some point in July. So if you're on Twitch, make sure you get following me when I get over there. Scouting vids are brilliant. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with that stuff. You know, it's actually good to see your reactions to players we've found. Yeah, well, I'm not going to say his name on this stream, of course. I don't think that's fair to the guys that are paying. But the Korean guy we found in product 2, I still think about him every day, and I think I should really be buying that super rare because I really like the look of him. He's not getting the minutes, but his technique and his like power really spoke to me, you know. So I think about him a lot, and I think about the Mexican guy with the injury. I'm trying not to give too much away here. I really liked him. And then there was somebody on the stream last night that I thought, wow, I really do like the look of him. Oh, it was the little Mexican midfielder guy, who's had a transfer. The one that had the transfer, yeah. So yeah, it's really good, and I love, honestly, seeing some of the players that you guys have picked up or you guys have unearthed is incredible. Quinny, any idea how you transfer a SoRare card from OpenSea to your SoRare account? My MetaMask is linked to both, if that helps. Martin, the best person you could reach out to, in my opinion, is either, I'd say You'll Never Walk Alone at NWI Blockchain, or at Blockchain NWA. You know what I'm saying. He will 100% know the answer to that in 2 seconds. He'll be able to tell you how to do it. I'm sure there's other guys in here that are friends of the channel also that you may be closer to, maybe like Mark McBride or McGawka. I think he might know how to. Leeds or we might know how to, because I know he's fucked about with all that paint stuff and other stuff as well. But I'm not the man to ask for that, Martin. I'm terribly sorry. I think I have a MetaMask. I'm not too sure. But yeah, hey ho. We've been going an hour, guys. I kind of feel like this is a natural kind of little point to leave the stream. Again, what I'll do is, we went through my best 11 there, didn't we? Yeah. If you didn't catch it at the beginning of the stream, this is the pitiful lineup that we had for the game week we're coming out of. It was an absolute flop. We've got Ben Hamilton and Clark Sutter on tonight, of course, but they would both need to bag like hundreds, basically, for anything meaningful to come of it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope you did well. XMK, welcome to the crew. Joining the members, so thanks very much. It's good that I see that little notification, so thank you very much. And emails are starting to rock in. NBA Top Shot, 14 epic reasons to start your video collection today. I don't think the reasons can be that epic because I can't do fucking anything with them. To be frank. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys. XMK, thank you for joining the member section of the channel. It means a lot to me. And yeah, guys, I should get a bunch of recording done. Should I get it done tomorrow over the weekend? I should have a thrash of videos, so I've got a big to-do list here. I should have a bunch coming at you thick and fast. I hope you enjoy them. Make sure you stay following me and sharing and all that good stuff, guys. I hope we have a great game week, and I can't say this enough as well. One other thing you should be looking at that I've not really got the facilities or the preparation involved to do this tonight, but like do you know what I'll do? This is what we'll finish the stream on, right? So this is actually what I was going to do. I don't know exactly every player on the planet that's lost their under 23 status. So XMK, now that you're a member, I think you can go back and watch the old ones. One of them did get totally removed from YouTube because we had it on big screen Mexican Sky Sports and all that. Just totally fucked the copyrights. So one of them unfortunately is not historically viewable, but the other ones are, so you can go back and check them, it's no problem. But what I did want to check, and I recommend you do this also, is now that it's 1st of July, the under 23s have been called, is go into your gallery again and check how it all sits now. So overall, I don't remember, we've got overall, let's see position. So I've got 9 goalkeepers that are still under 23 eligible. Let's see who they are. So Hassel, the super rare we're talking about, Torop and Katarski are just training goalkeepers. Van de Voort, cool. Svilar should get on loan this year. Obe, pass. Trubin, Europa League, cool. Tani is away at Olympics, but cool. And Schubert isn't playing now. Wow. XMK, thank you very much, honestly. XMK has just donated £20 to the channel, so thank you very much through super chats. So honestly, XMK, wow, no one has ever done that before, so I've got no idea. So wow, thank you very much. Honestly, that means everything, mate. Thank you very much. XMK, I'm speechless. I am speechless. Wow, thank you. But yeah, so I don't have that many goalkeepers. I don't think I've lost any. I recommend you do this highlight. XMK, this is still on my screen. I'm so speechless. Like, thank you very much, honestly. XMK, you're a hero, man. Oh, love that, man. Thank you very much. Defenders, I've still got 19 and under 23, okay? Now, we could probably break this into regions, it would take a bit longer, but I've still got Tio Hernandez. He could be ultimate tier this year. Valenzuela, when he comes back fully into fitness. I ain't Koki Machida now, by the way. I'm so happy. I did pay a lot for him at the time, but I was like, I know who he is, I know what I'm getting, and I need that in my under 23s for this period. And I think now with some of these guys like Kikuchi's and whatever kind of evolving past it, Ashraf Hakimi still U23, Teze still U23, Mark McKenzie should get more minutes, Gabriel fucking great, Van Hoosten fucking great. So I still got a good clutch of defenders, I would say. If I had I've got a board marker. XMK, there you go, my man. Try to do that mirror image. I think I maybe done that backwards or upside down or something. But there you go, son. Hope that was worth it. Thank you very much, XMK. I've never heard that before. I'll start doing that if you want. But hey ho. So 19 defenders. Was there 2 pages? Just the 1 page. Midfield, I've got 27. Still got 20. A lot of these guys will probably be Sam Nicholson. So Dorsch, Acevedo, guys, honestly, I was saying this on the thing, mate. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but Acevedo, if you can get one cheap, get one. That is 25 cartons of juice, Mikey. You are right. That is 25 cartons of juice. Josh Atencio, Gutierrez. I don't think I'm losing many midfielders, but it's still good to see Renato Sanchez and Vlasic and Sangar are still U23, so I'm fucking buzzing for that next year. They're all powerhouse midfielders. I've got a lot of good midfielders. Tanaka is not really, no one really cares about him anymore. And forwards. So, like I said at the beginning of this little thing, guys, I recommend you do this in your own. I recommend you get this in your own club and just do a little audit. How many of you lost? Are you now, oh shit, I've actually only got 2 strikers all of a sudden. I did have 4, you know, that kind of thing. Felix is still there, which is cool. All the new guys, of course, we knew that when we bought them. Darwin Núñez began our season out of Nemeka. We've lost Jordan Larson from the pool, but we've still got a lot of great guys here. Timo Weah, Jonathan David as well. So yeah, I'm still really happy with what I've got banging in for U23s. With all the female streamers on Twitch. Okay, no, I've not been on Twitch at all, XMK. Do you know, I've watched 4 Twitch streams, right? 2 of them were for Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is a fighting game I very much enjoy and play every night. And the other 2 was Plastician. You know, the guy is verified on Twitter who plays SoRare. He's a DJ. I watched 2 of his Twitch streams when he was doing SoRare stuff, and I actually really enjoyed it. Very similar to YouTube, but it felt a bit more kind of cozy, I felt. Quinny selling himself. I guess I am. Don't like me. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot, XMK. You're a hero and a club legend. It would seem being number 1 to donate, so thanks very much. It means the world. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. I hope the game week is kind to you, especially all the members, of course, and XMK, the legend of the stream. I'm still speechless. I really don't know what to say, guys. Have a great night. I hope you enjoyed this tonight. Good luck on the game week. Hopefully I'll see you for trophy day. We'll all be dropping bombs. This is one thing. I'm going to try and get a regular scheduled spaces. So if you're not on Twitter spaces, try and organise that, because I'm going to try and get something regular done. I'm thinking maybe Friday, early evenings. I'm thinking maybe Wednesday, mid-afternoons. I'm kind of around a few different time zones and places and trying to think about a nice optimal time for me to be all involved. So any times you get interactions with me over the next week, even, I'm about to leave the live chat, so maybe not the live chat, maybe the comment section of this video. If you were to do spaces on Twitter, you know, is there a convenient time and day? Everyone thinks, oh yeah, Friday at this time, or, you know, that kind of time. So I'd like, the thing with spaces, if you've not been on spaces, is I can just talk to you all and we can all just chat about stuff. And the first time we were doing spaces, I was on the first 2 or 3 that we made, I felt like, see, because of the videos I make, I felt when I was doing the spaces, I was under pressure to have like the right answer to everything everyone was saying, and I thought, no, this is just a chat, man, you know. So and then once I got into that kind of ebb and flow of it, I really enjoy spaces. So make sure you join me over there if and when you're able to, if and when the spaces are running. But I'm looking to hopefully get a regular kind of thing on the go with spaces as well. Have a great game week again, guys. I can't say it enough. I'm going to hit the intro tune to exit. It's just so that anyone who doesn't watch this live there's a nice little end screen at the end. So about to come on screen now is some videos that I have also made you might enjoy. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff. Stay out of trouble. Catch you on the next one.